All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining the September update for the Navigators program. So very briefly, the agenda, we take a look at the statistics. I would like to share some program updates and a new initiative we have. After that, we have a community spotlight for a project, Word Home by Charlie's. Thanks for joining the call. And then we have some time set aside for Q&A. So let's dive straight in. So as you can see, we are targeting 100 projects by the end of the year. It's unlikely we're going to meet this, but I do not want to hide that number. We have seen like a good number of applications come through since we updated the ceiling. So on the left, you can see the growth track till date has received 57 applications, and out of which we have funded 19. 4 of which have been delivered, and 1 is delayed, or we can say it is abandoned at this point as we are unable to reach the team. 33 were rejected, and 5 of them are undergoing an offline review. The stats on the right are a little more relevant. This covers mid-August to mid-September, where we received a huge influx of applications. We received 34 of them, out of which 8 were funded, 21 rejected, 5 are being, we are doing some due diligence with them and doing a review offline. And we did a delivery check of 2 previously funded applications. In terms of the funding, till date, we have committed 628,750 Mina, and out of which just the month of September amounts for 374,250 Mina. So as you can see, we are ramping up the pace, and we are seeing some quality proposals and applications come through. In terms of a breakdown of the projects, we can still see we are very heavy on the infra and the gaming side. The social pie is growing, so we have 3 proposals being built over there. And we can see that we have like 2 new categories at the moment. So one is DeFi. So this is a custom token launchpad created by DFST. And we also have a research proposal created by Big Sky. So very excited to see us breaking grounds in new areas. Statistics from the starter track. Again, on the left, until today, we have had 28 developers. I'm going to skip out the details of the numbers as they're on the screen. And I think what is relevant from mid-August to September 18th, which is today, we've onboarded 7 new builders, and we've committed 70,000 Mina towards it. As you can see, there's like a slight drop in pace in the starter track because we want to focus more towards the growth track of the program. And until date, now we have committed 230K Mina to the starter track. So we'd like to share some more program updates, and some of these are from the feedback we've received and some of the observations we've made as we've progressed. So currently, we found that there is no up-to-date resource of what to build for both new and seasoned developers. There are some lists maintained by Owen Labs, Mina Foundation, and AstroMina for hackathons. And we know that the ecosystem is getting more and more richer. So we have ProtoKit, we have OpenJS, we have OpenMina, and all these areas could have gaps which could be contributed and filled up by the community. We also notice that we do not track a lot of ecosystem gaps, as I was saying above. So some of this could be, hey, we don't have like a gas station styled API, or we don't have an R1 curve implementation, which could be very useful for a lot of the primitives, like passkey signing. And the last thing we noticed was writing a proposal for the growth track of the program is difficult because we do a lot of due diligence. So it can take teams anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks to write it out with design. Once it reaches us, there's maybe another 1 or 2 weeks to iron it out, for us to seek clarifications. I've sort of taken like the higher end of the numbers, but then the reality still is that it still takes time to write a proposal out, to have it reviewed, and then progress it and get for community updates. So it does mean that building on Mina is a little difficult, and these are some of the issues we can address quite easily. So what we've come up with is what is known as an idea board. So just basically one-on-one answering the previous issues. So what is the idea board? The idea board is an up-to-date resource of what to build for both new and seasoned developers. It's a way for us to track ecosystem gaps. This could be tooling, primitive needs, or a ZK app. It serves as a resource for good and quality projects and designs. I'll go into this a little bit later on. And we also hope that this tool becomes easier for onboarding and building on Mina. So I just wanted to go through some of the labels we are using before I demo it, and hopefully it'll be much more clearer when I walk through the demo. So it's just how do you classify these ideas, and one is by status. So any ideas which are in the backlog means they need some refinement. So we want to give developers as little. I guess we don't want them to work too hard to figure things out. So we want to provide the resources and put them on their best footing. So anything in the backlog is, hey, it's a great idea, but then we probably need to add more information before someone can come and start picking it up. To do is like, hey, it's out of the backlog. The idea is now ready, and this can be picked up and progressed by anyone. In progress is a way to track any idea which is already being built by someone. This is not to say if it is in progress, you cannot make an attempt to build something in parallel, because some ideas may have two solutions or two teams would like to work on different ways on it. So this is a very welcome situation for us. And done is when the ideas have been delivered. Few more labels. So the ideas are categorized based on whether they can be ZK apps, research, or infrastructure. There are like estimated sizing and impact tags associated with them. So a small sizing would mean we probably think it's going to take someone 1 to 2 months to build it. Medium 2 to 6, and large would be around 6 to 12 months. Impact, again, like how impactful this particular implementation would be for the ecosystem. All right, so let's take a very quick look at the demo. Oops, yep, I hope you can see it. So what you can see is the idea board is a project which lives on GitHub. And as you can see, there are two views for it. You can filter ideas based on labels. You can filter them based on impact, whatever you fancy. So we've made it customizable. So it's easy for you can choose your interests and be inspired to build something from the list. And if I were to just change a view, then you can look at the organization, which I briefly went over earlier. So backlogs is a set of ideas which do need some refinement, and to-do is a set of ideas which are ready to be picked up. So I just wanted to like maybe open up one of these. So this is an idea which was submitted by DFST, which is a proposal to build a Mina gas station. So as you can see that this idea is very well fleshed out. There is a summary. There's an overview for it. There's the design of the API. What does the architecture look like? And there are like a lot of resources for anyone who's interested in building this out to come and take a look at it. So that is one of the proposals which is like very, very well detailed. Now, if you were to take a look at the ONJS example book, it probably is not as detailed, but then it is like something which needs some more work to be done by anyone who's trying to build it. So it's saying, hey, we want to build an educational resource for introducing Mina concepts in type of a book format. And there are some resources linked on how one could progress if they wanted to build this idea out. Uh, the second thing I kind of wanted to show was, let me just change this. Right. So this is a repository where the idea can be added. And essentially, it is a project. And the way you can submit an idea is by creating a new issue. There's a template already to submit an issue for an idea. You hit get started, and you just fill out the summary, the design, if you have any, or the resources, which could be very relevant to implementing this idea. So I hope this is a useful resource for the builders in the community, and we can help speed up the growth of the ecosystem. So I'm just going to swap back to my slideshow. So right now, what can go on the board? So the ideas can be for research. These can be for ZK apps with or without designs. It can be cryptographic needs or tooling needs or infrastructural elements which we are missing. The ideas, again, can be fully detailed, or I would say at least they need to be like semi-detailed with some resources attached to it. And more importantly, we would like to have some kind of a feasibility analyze when an idea is submitted. It does not need to be like 100% fully designed for someone to come and pick it up, but at least an idea which should be not lead straight away to a dead end, I would say. So please contribute to the board. The board, we are hoping, is also open to the community. We are hoping the ideas contributed are a little more builder centric because they have a little better idea of the feasibility. It will also help with the operations in like maintaining and classifying and updating these ideas. And of course, please feel free to reach out to us with any queries. This could be what needs to go on the board. If you're thinking of something, whether it's a good or a bad idea, I mean, reach out to us on Discord, reach out to us on Twitter. I mean, we are very happy to like take the community input as we always have to uh, improve the ecosystem. So I'll just pause here and just take any questions if there are regarding the idea board itself. Right, I'm looking at chat. Oh, hey, there is one. So what is the difference between submission method via GitHub issue and submission of Google Forms with HackMD IO template? Right, so the idea board can be used for multiple things. It can be used for hackathons. It can be used for gaps which are not necessarily funded. So what we are hoping is this serves as an inspiration. And if you like something on there, there's a very good chance you can apply for a grant for it. So you take that idea, it will have the design, and then you can apply for a Navigators grant saying, hey, I would like to build this out and submit a Hack MDIO proposal uh, or a Navigators proposal. And it needs to fit that template. You need to budget it. It needs to go through the Navigators review process, and then we can fund it. So these are just kind of like a starting point. This can also be used, like I said, in hackathons. Maybe some of these ideas are very quick and small. They could be like a week or two to be built. Probably they are not eligible for like a Navigator grant. So this is a way to like capture the gaps, and Navigators is a way to like fund those gaps to be built. I hope that answers that question. All right, thanks. Cool. So moving on, we have a community. Oops, sorry, there's another question by Leo. Should we assign any of those ideas if we are working on a proposal related to the Navigators program? Leo, you don't need to. I will manage this. So as soon as I see a proposal coming through, I will move it to in progress. and I will also like update it in the issue itself. Uh, so I can do this tracking for it, and you don't need to assign it to yourself. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, so sorry to Charlie for the wait. So we have a community spotlight for a project which is going to be built further in the Navigators program. So Charlie, if you are online, the stage is yours.
Okay, thanks. Let me share my screen. All right. So the project I'm presenting is Warhome, the auditable social media platform. Warhome. I don't know if this will be the final name, but meanwhile, is a placeholder. So at the idea of this project, or at the heart of this project, is the idea of um, fair content propagation. There are some other things that this project is trying to do, like guaranteeing long-term platform availability. Like all the data of the platform will be back up in decentralized networks for storage of chain storage like Filecoin. So the users have the guarantee that all their data and their accounts, etc., will be always available. And even if the operators of the platform shut down, the platform can be forked by other people and keep going. Or maybe if some other people aren't happy with the current operators, the platforms can always be forked. So the users are the ones that are really in power of or in charge of the platform. They really can choose to keep using this platform or uh, building their own based on the current version of the platform, and all their data and content of the platform, their social graph, etc., will remain available. So also, going back to one of the things that is also very unique about this project is, as I was saying, fair content propagation. And this is because, well, here is like a very simple client that I have here, with an environment that I set up very quickly for this presentation. So here you can see that we have like some posts by some users. Like the users here are represented by a fraction of their public addresses. So when I first come to this website, you will note that it takes a little while to load, and this is because um, while we are seeing that the page is loading, what our client is doing is auditing all the data that is receiving from the server. Like the server need to respond with some Merkle map witnesses and other data that our client takes to make sure that, for example, no post here is missing. Like in a sense that here we have a chronological order of our content, and what we want to be sure is that no user is being shadow banned or being or some other content is being artificially boosted. So we have an audited chronological feed, and for example, if here some post was missing, we what we will see will be something like this. Like if we artificially um, like delete a post here from the server, and we receive a feed that is with a post that is being skipped, we will get an error here in the client telling us that there's a gap between post 3 and 5, right? And each of these posts, when published, were published by users signing messages that back up that each of these posts was actually published by those users, and also each of those posts was timestamped by the blockchain in the Mina blockchain. So we have the certainty that that no user or no content is being shadow banned. In this case, it's just a chronological order that is like the simplest fit. But we can apply this same logic of receiving an answer from the server and audit, even if the we have like a more complex algorithm for receiving content. Like for example, in Twitter, you have like your chronological feed, but if you go to your For You tab, you get some other a kind of arrangement of content, even from accounts that you aren't following, right? So we can do these kind of different fits to here. Although right now we are focusing on chronological order, since it's is the like the easiest and more straightforward fit to implement. And so, well, here we can see that we have some reposts. Here we have this other post reposted, and every well, let's make this valid again. So when a user wants to post or comment or react to a post in this platform, the idea is that users will sign with their wallets all their actions. So they also own their identity, right? For example, here if we will want to react to one of these, uh, for example, here we could react, and it will ask us for a signature, and we will sign this, and it this is like the idea, right? Like every action will be signed, and this goes directly to the server, and the server uh, creates takes these signed actions as input, and in some Mina CK programs that create the proofs that then are able to update the on-chain state. That makes that we can use them to validate any response from the server. So we can like have these guarantees that the platform will always behave following some established rules, and then we can have these auditable fits that we can also customize. Like each user could customize their fits and get and the guarantee that the platform will always serve them the content that they want to actually see, and not like things like propaganda too, like artificial boosting of some of their content, or as I say, shadow banning, etc. Like for example, in many social media platforms, you sometimes are following some people, and many people sometimes complain that they can see that they never see like the posts of or comments of or of their friends, right? Like uh, while they are shown like the content from other accounts that they don't even follow. So the idea here is taking um, um, that providing guarantee to the users that they always see the content they want, and content won't be manipulated and receive like biased treatment. And on top of this, we will also down the road we will build like fair and auditable content moderation too. Um, so this is basically the idea, like in a quick demo um, that I set up here. For example, um, well, these also these actions that I did. Right now, I just set up like a very small AWS environment to create the proofs and update the Mina state. So these are being created in parallel. Like we did two actions, and we have two workers in different servers creating proofs in parallel. And then, for example, if we will have like many users in the platform, like creating hundreds or thousands of actions, we will set up like many servers to create proofs in parallel for each of these actions. And we can, for example, if there are like, I don't know, 1000 actions in 1 minute, is those 1000 actions will be proved in parallel, and then will be merged in a single proof that then is submitted to the Mina blockchain. So in just one transaction in the Mina blockchain, we are able to prove 1000 actions of the users, so we can scale the platform. And I mean, this is like, oh, this failed. But I don't know why this.
Yeah, it's the curse of the demo.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Uh, but um, anyways, the what I was saying, yeah. Um, that we are able to scale in this way, but also what I'm trying to do in this new proposal, obviously this kind of user experience of, for example, navigating the platform and having these it seems like the platform already updated the on-chain state. So here we are having this message because we need our server to restore the state that is now on chain that was updated. So so they match, uh, like if we go here, we will see that probably the transaction is already successful in the DevNet. But obviously, yeah. Uh, so we need to this prover um, to finish compiling all this and heals the local state of the server, so it matches the update that already updated on chain. But what I was saying is something that I want to do in for this proposal is the coupling, the auditing, and the navigation in the platform. So every time we navigate through the platform, we don't have like this slow time of loading, uh, and we can like navigate more smoothly. And each query that our client does instead will be accumulated and stored. We will be able to postpone the auditing of any of our queries. And also the idea is not only to improve like the time of response uh, of the platform, but also um, what what I want to do is to once we have like those like those responses stored, and then that we can like validate after, not that we don't need to evaluate immediately while we are navigating. This also opens the door to create like another some other CK programs and smart contracts to use those stored responses from the server that also will be signed by the server to be like other like new inputs to other CK programs and smart contracts, that if that for example, if you receive an invalid response from the server, you are able to use that invalid response as an input to a smart contract in Mina, and prove that you received a bad response from the server, and so the server is not behaving properly, or is manipulating the content you see. And then when you prove that in by using this input in a smart contract, then you could get a reward. uh, so a reward that comes from the platform itself. So that will be an incentive for users to validate that all the queries that they are receiving, and also an incentive for the operators of the platform to uh, keep being honest. Not only like receiving a reputational damage if many users are starting to see that their clients are showing to them that the server is responding with invalid responses, but also having like some economic incentives behind this. And also users could like keep those queries from the server, those query responses from the servers, and send them to some specialized nodes to validate each of these responses. So the users themselves maybe don't have to validate every query, but all would have some kind of like if mining, if you want to see it like that. So to keep the platform honest, and also um, when every query response will not only be signed by the server, by the platform operators, but also will have the address of the user that received that invalid response uh, embedded on that response. So if a validator finds an invalid response, it shares the reward with the user. So everyone has an incentive to keep well, the user has the incentive to collect these responses and send them to validators and share those rewards. Uh, but this will be like also more in the future. Right now, what I want to do in this proposal is the couple the immediate validation, improve the navigation too, so 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 users can navigate through all through the queries that they have been in one session, that have been receiving in one session better, and also download those responses so they can so they can in the future validate those themselves. Because also to avoid uh, what happened recently, that we were receiving an error because the unchained the unchained state got updated while the server crashed and didn't update uh, successfully locally. We went to the couple like this race condition that arises from the need of validating each query response immediately. So we want to be able to validate those responses at an appropriate time. Like it doesn't have to be some immediate evaluation, and also by the coupling this timing on the validation of each query response, we also will be able to, instead of needing to wait so much for the proofs to be generated and the blockchain confirm the transaction for users to see the updates. We But with this time decoupling, we will be able to show the the updates like almost immediately after the users sign their actions, etc. So that's those things are like the core of this proposal to improve the user experience and have like a more a faster and a more natural user experience. So if you see the server heal itself now, when I restarted this, uh, and we are not receiving this error message anymore. Um, uh, I think I think that's all for today.
Right.
I don't
Thanks.
know if you have any questions.
I might have one. I just maybe wanted to. I had a couple, but I think they're short on time. So maybe just one thing. How would content moderation work in general? Have you thought of a design how that would be implemented?
Sorry.
Content moderation. Uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Have you
far,
thought of this?
I have like a high level idea,
Hmm.
but so far what I have thought is like say uh, uh, like users are able to post anything, right?
Hmm.
So they say someone posts something illegal. So the idea is that some users sees this and report it, right?
Hmm.
And this reporting triggers a process where the platform will automatically look in the graph, in the social graph, or the user graph, and look for users that are like the least correlated to this user. So like to have like the most impartiality, like to be the most neutral possible, and also the users that could only evaluate these reports will be users that are subscribed to the platform. So there's like more of a loyalty, if you want to see like something like that, to the platform. And and then you do like a first round, like with say you have one report, you choose two users based on the graph, um, and then based on these three votes, you see if there's like a majority, three or two, then okay, you accept that unless it gets appealed. If it gets appealed, you make like another round based in the same idea, you get another 3 users. Maybe you can choose for this second round users that have a better reputation, that they have like their history is that they usually have a good judgment, like they usually vote with the majority, right? Yeah, if this gets appealed again, maybe you do a final round, just a final round,
Gotcha.
and and see the result. If you finally resolve this with the cumulative votes,
Hmm.
okay, it gets resolved. If there's still some controversy, like you can like finally escalate this to platforms operators that are like the people um, with that have more at stake, like
Hmm.
platform operators are the ones that will get sued if if there's like a lot of intellectual property violations
Hmm.
or whatever, right? So that's the idea. Then obviously based on this cumulative process of voting, the idea is to have a score for each of these moderators,
Hmm.
and like obviously or not obviously, but that have like kind of a hierarchy that you can use to structure this system, and also give them rewards to the moderators that demonstrate like a good judgment. So again, like it's all about incentives, right? Because
Hmm.
um, like this phrase, show me the incentives and I'll show you the outcome, right?
Gotcha.
so
Gotcha.
that's the
Hmm.
idea so far. Like on a high level, I have like um, some other ideas around this, but that's the idea so far, like the
Hmm.
core idea. It could change, but so far that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, you've thought of everything. Thank you again for coming on and sharing your project and your thoughts about social media and how we can already see how many technical challenges you have ahead of you. So thank you again for building on me now.
Yeah,
Uh,
thanks.
okay.
And also sorry for the accidented presentation, but I set up like I set up this kind of quickly. Um, I have a video a demo that is like more. I explain everything like more calmly and more clearly in
No,
more
no, this is
detail.
fine. This is, I mean, no, this was
I,
very good. I mean,
I can share it if like
yeah, please share the
my
link and I'll share it
my
with.
explain my
Yes.
explanation and demo was kind of chaotic.
No, no, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Don't be too hard. Uh, so thanks again, Charlie's. I mean, I know we are slightly over time, but I'm still happy to take any questions uh, from the people online right now. Cool. I think it's radio silence. So everyone have a lovely evening and thank you for joining the call. Take care. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Take care.